Okay. Good day to our listeners, viewers of this special update on the eruption of the last Soufrière volcano. Today we are into the fourth day of the explosive eruption at the last Soufrière volcano, and currently the eruption is characterized by ash falling on the entire country and also pyroclastic flow coming down from the mountain and damaging the vegetation. A lot of persons had to be evacuated because of the serious nature of this eruption. Some have left from as far as Fancy, Sandy Bay, um, mainly those persons in the orange and red zone. And today we're at one of the emergency shelters outside one of the emergency shelters. Right here is at the stair. We are at the stair hall, uh, government school, and we have a number of persons here who can attest to what is happening and to give us an update of how things are progressing. So right now I have the principal of the stair hall government school, and Miss Principal, I'd like you just to introduce yourself.
Okay, my sister is talking, and I'm the head teacher of the school.
Okay, Ms. Huggins, with school out and all that is happening, what have been your sort of responsibility here at the school?
Okay, well, for the shelter, I'm the person in charge, so I oversee, make sure everything is going okay, and the shelter manager actually runs the operation of the shelter.
Okay, so you have to ensure that everything goes okay.
Yes.
Has everything been going okay for you?
Most things I would say are okay, except for the water shortage. Food is in good supply. We've been getting a lot of donations, so we're okay at this time.
So the greatest challenge for you is water
Water
supply.
supply, yes. We're short on
Um,
water.
okay, in terms of bed and support persons, are they
I
seem
think at this moment we have sufficient.
to be sufficient at
Yeah.
the moment? Okay, so I want to engage the shelter manager and then I can come back to you. Okay, so we have the shelter manager now, and I will allow her as well to introduce herself.
My name is Angela Peter Roberts, shelter manager of the Fairhall Government School.
So Ms. K. Robert, what is your responsibility here?
My responsibility is to make sure that everything runs smoothly on a daily basis, from registering persons, giving out supplies, making sure that everybody have their meals, they get water, check their temperature and everything like that.
And I'm telling you, she's doing a good job. A bit forceful. Somebody get excited here. But she's doing a good job. She's a very stern person. When we enter this compound, we are warned and told that we have to get authorized permission and so forth. So we have to seek that, and we don't want to intercede on the private space of these persons who have just left their home and are going through this terrible experience. So, what has it been like for you?
Well, for me, it has been a new experience for me, but I like challenges, so I'm going along with it. Sometimes you may not be able to please everybody, but so far, most persons at the shelter, they have said that it they're okay, everything is going smoothly. They like how I go about doing everything, making sure that the peace on the compound is maintained, making sure that protocols for the COVID-19 are in place and everything like that. So we are quite okay and persons are satisfied.
And where are you originally from?
I am originally from Argyle, born in Argyle, grew up in Argyle. Now I moved to Glen and I am also a teacher of the school. So I like to volunteer my services otherwise. So when the position of the shelter manager were asked to fill, I gladly did do that.
So this is voluntary. You're volunteering. Okay. So seeing that you're from what we consider one of those green zone areas, how has this affected you personally? Because water supply is also issues that are issue at your home. What
That
about your family?
that has been the issue right now with the water supply. So far, you're asking about my family. I make sure that they're okay. I call with them, check in with them to make sure that everything is okay. They have water and everything like that. So I'm still here and I'm still giving orders at my home to make sure that my children are okay. My mother, who is living with me, an elderly, she's okay also. And for the person's hair, I make sure that they get the water and everything is also okay with them.
And what's the food that comes into the shelter? Where are they coming from, and what is it like?
Well, it's nationwide, I could say now. Persons who are able to help, they are calling, they are asking if what we need. We will tell them whatever we get, it's okay. We will give them our immediate needs so far. So we are accepting anything that persons have to offer. We are not turning away anybody at this time.
And is there anything you would like other persons to know, probably, you said besides the water? Do you have an issue where, because I was on the shelter recently and they said the ash were coming in and destroying the sheets or dirty in the sheets? Do you have an issue like that where you might be?
Yes, we have a problem with the ash coming in, but what I did so far, I tried to get some fabric, and some of the gentlemen who are here, they helped me to bar it off, block it off from the dust going in, and we try to keep the doors closed as much as possible to avoid that problem.
I'll come back to me. Well, part of this, a great deal of what we are going through needs love, unity, support, and very critical in this part of the support chain is the corporate citizen. What has the corporate citizen, what has the businesses been doing to make things better for Vincent Jan, who might otherwise be a member of their organization, who have been contributing to the success or the profitability of their business? So I'm here, I'm going to speak to a gentleman from Metrosyn Insurance, Metrolife. Uh, is a whole crowd. Tell me a bit about, just introduce yourself and tell me what is happening.
All right, my name is Andrew Boyd, and I represent Metro General Insurance and also Metro Life, and which is a subsidiary company. We are really in the business of insurance, but in this time we are really looking to contribute and to give back to our society. It is very unfortunate that persons are finding themselves in a situation like this, and this is a time when the corporate community needs to come together to lend their support in any way and every way possible so that they can make life a little bit easier and better for the individuals who have to occupy and live here.
Also, I saw the company here today delivering food to the persons at the shelter. Tell us what happened today, what is going to happen from henceforth with regards to the company and support.
Okay, well, over the weekend when we found out that um, the situation of the last Soufrière had gotten worse, and we experienced this violent explosion, and persons had to be displaced. We realized that some of the shelters and the centers would need support, and so some calls were made, and we were put on to this location. And so we had pledged to give our support over the next 3 days, which began yesterday, Sunday, to provide lunches for the persons here at the shelter. And we would want to also lend our support going forward as much as possible. We are also making contribution as well to the Caliper Town Hall, to the convent school in Kingstown, and we are looking around for other areas, other centers, other individuals that we know may have needs that we can make a contribution to. Because we as a corporate provider understand that people have needs, and we are here to do as much as we possibly can to help them in this time.
Oh, that is very good. That is very, I must commend you guys on that important task. And also the importance of insurance in these times. Because, a lot of times people hear about insurance and they don't understand how important insurance is. Now, because even when you look at those houses in the red zone, orange zone area that has been affected, they would need some sort of assistance. And if you had an insurance, if you had a package, you probably would have been, or at least your mind would have been at ease during this time. What would you say suppose?
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes people don't understand the whole idea of risk. Risk comes about because we can't anticipate what is going to happen in the future. And so say so, so done. I mean, who would have thought that Lacoufre would have, blown its top at this time, and you would have been in this kind of situation. Who would have thought that their house would have caved in because of the weight of ash? Who would have thought that their vehicles would have been trashed? And even up to earlier on, we heard that there were a number of individuals who are owning vehicles who are insured with us have suffered severe damages. And we are already on the ground making the assessment and trying to see how much we can help, alleviate people's stress and frustration during this period. Insurance, as I would call it, is very important. And, we want to encourage all persons who have not yet had their vehicles, their homes, their lives, their property insured. Come to MetroSyn, come to Metro Life, and we certainly will be able to have a conversation that might prove very much profitable for you in the long run.
Thank you very much for that. That's very commendable from a corporate perspective. I just want to engage because these persons, the shelter manager, the principal, the representative from MetroSyn, they are all here because they care and they want to show that they can help us. Okay, so I'm gonna call a lady. She's one of the persons who has been affected, and she's staying here at the center. Good day, ma'am. Just introduce yourself for me, please, and tell me where you're from.
My name is Baker from Sandy Bay.
Okay, so Miss Baker, when did you came here to the shelter?
So the night to Friday morning. I reached it after 3.
Oh, so early Friday morning. What was it like to come out of Sandy Bay and to get here?
Well, it was very difficult because of the traffic.
Was a lot of traffic?
Yeah.
What about your family members? Did they come with you?
Well, my 2 daughters come with me. My son did not come at the same time, but he reached the Friday night where I am. Because he didn't want to come.
So you can tell it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still have 2 brothers. They still Sandy Bay. I don't know why they don't want to come.
But there have been an order which state that persons could be arrested if they don't want to leave. Since you have been here, what is it like?
Well, it's well, let's the power into the water.
So we're hearing again that at the shelter, it is good, but water is a critical importance. What do you want persons to know? What would you like to say to persons to in any way or the other?
Like at the shelter.
No, in general, persons who are viewing this, what would you like to say? What would you like to say to them?
Well, I like to say to them, just keep the faith, especially those who lost the house, because I have a niece lost her house too, and I know she's feeling sad at this moment. So I just try to say, can she keep the faith?
Okay, folks. Thank you very much, and we are our thoughts and prayers are with you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna have another person who's also at the center. The gentleman here. Could you please introduce yourself for us?
My name is Charles Stay. I'm from Fancy originally. Teacher from Fancy.
So he is a teacher from Fancy, one of those red zones, one of those very unsafe zones. How did you get here and when did you get here?
I got here Thursday night into Friday morning.
And
Actually, I am one of those persons who in the disaster management committee in Fancy. So I am one of the few who made sure that we try to make things smooth, the evacuation. So I actually was one of the last persons to leave, along with my personal family.
how did most persons get out of Fancy?
Those vehicles, they went, obviously, and the rest had to wait on mainly on government provided vehicles. A few of us from the committee were there, keeping them cool. We were there to encourage them and to show that we are in solidarity, and we helped to make the evacuation smooth, leaving Fancy.
And how was the mood like among the persons who are being evacuated?
Some were very anxious, and I think we were all surprised because even though we were anxious, we did not realize that the actual eruption or the big eruption was going to be just a few hours ahead of us. But at that time, they were very calm. Well, a lot of them were anxious, but they were very cooperative and we try to make things as smooth as possible.
Okay, so from your perspective, for someone who has been in this sort of environment, helping, now being in a situation where you need help, I should say. What do you think most persons here need?
Immediately call for water. And we are getting drinking water, we are getting water to bathe, even though it's not always on time. But the problem is really the bathroom. And we have a few children around. And you could anticipate what the bathroom situation is like in the absence of water for a whole day sometimes. So that's really a big issue.
Is there anything that you want to say additionally, right here?
Yes, it's nice to know that we are getting cooperation. It's the shelter manager here and the principal, they are trying very hard. They are here in person, even in the night, they are here with us. So that shows the level of, faith and cooperation and the sense of service to the community, which I personally admire. And the people here they are generally cooperative too. Us as evacuees, but the water problem is really the main issue. It would be nice to get whoever the sponsors are out there. We coordinate some mops and mop buckets. Unfortunately, I didn't discuss this with the shelter manager, but I think some mops and mop buckets would do us well, so we can clean the rooms that we are in.
So thank you very much, and I applaud you for all your effort and everything that you're doing. I just want to engage with principal, okay, before we finish this live. So not and not bucket, you agree that there is a need for that to cleaning products.
Cleaning products, bleach, disinfectant, toilet paper, toiletries. Yeah.
Just a last question I want to ask is, from your experience, you would have experienced the 1979 eruption and this eruption. How do you compare and contrast them?
I think it's
And why you said that?
I am from the village originally, which is in the red zone. I remember the day when in 79 when it erupted in the afternoon. Yes, there was a big plume, but I think there wasn't this much ash. This one had a lot more ash. And the intensity of the explosion, I think this one is worse. Gosh, I don't know the intensity and the frequency. We didn't have that, many blasts in such a short period of time.
At least we want to thank you for most persons for listening and viewing and show their concern and they want to assist the folks. If persons want to assist, how do they go about assisting?
People have been donating directly here, the corporate society. Thank them very much. Private citizens, so they can bring whatever they want to donate right here for us.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We just want to thank the shelter manager, the principal, and the two persons who have spoken. And for now, we're going to leave you guys, and maybe later we come back and return. But for now, bye-bye, guys.